Because our Vue.js app is getting a little bit messy, we're just introducing a new component and call that list component. So we're just creating a new file in our components directory and call this list.vue. And then we need the single file component structure, which can be typed, or we use this shortcut here. So at first we need the template, then we have the script again, and then the style here below. The list, let's just use a div tag and say, hi, I am a list. And now we are using this list. We want to display it. So we head back to our app.vue, and now we need the 3 steps again I told you in the last videos. We first need to import the list from the file components list. So components and then list.vue. Then second, we need to register it. So here in the components section. And the third step is we have to use it. There is a Vue.js rule that says do not just use single words. You at least have to use 2 words. Let's say if we just get the error. Yeah, we have it. The list we have another. There another linter error that says the list component has been registered but not used. So we are registering it here, but we do not use it. And how to use it? Just open the list tag here, and if you want to close it like this, you can do this as well. Then we see that the error I told you is coming. List should always be a multiword. So component named list should always be multiword. This is the linter error again. I just told you in the first video what is the linter and what is it doing. And here we say the first action of ESLint here. So we are changing the name, and we just change it list example or example list. Then if you have extension vtour installed, then vtour wants to make refactoring changes, and we just want to see which change the import list should be renamed. And yeah, do it. And we just have to do the manual renaming here as well. List example. And down here again, and here when we want to use it. And of course there, the closing tag as well. So now we did everything fine, and hey, we have a multi-name word. There's just a caching thing, I guess. So let's refresh the whole thing. Why? Sometimes you need to restart the server. So we kill it here and we do npm run serve again. Because the list.vue isn't existing anymore. It's called list example, but Vue.js or the Vue CLI didn't manage to have the update here. And so when the same error is occurring in your application, just kill the process using Ctrl-C and restart it again. So we see, hi, I am a list. And we have it here, the list example, and hi, I am a list. And now we want to re-render, we want to render a list. So we have an unordered list HTML tag here, and we have a list item tag. And when it comes to loops, so for example, first element, and then we have the second element, and then we have the third element. When it comes to loops, we need to be aware of what is Vue.js doing. Because when we are looping, talking and writing isn't easy. When we are looping over elements, the elements are rendered dynamically. So Vue.js needs to have some kind of unique key identifier, which enables or which ensures that this element is just a unique element, and this one here and this one here as well. But at first, let's do an array. So let's store it into the data section. Data is a method which returns an object, and the object here has the list items, for example, and this is an array, and we want to store just 3 elements. So let's do the apple, and let's do the banana, and let's do the cherry thing. This is pretty obvious. Developers love these examples. And now we are introducing a list item, which is using another directive. Once again, directives are starting with a V minus. Directives are related to elements, and we have here a list element. So this is a list item element. This is the unordered list. And this directive V4 It's just relating and manipulating this list item. So, and now we are looping over the whole thing. We're looping, and for each element in, so for each item in list items, we want to see a dot here. And as I told you, a unique identifier is required. So require v4 key. This is another linter rule which says, hey, you forgot something. So v4 vbind key, and then we call it like item. Why is this is this a unique identifier? Because the items here does not have the same value. You should be aware of that. This key should be unique during the runtime of your application. That means when you have dynamic list items and you're removing an item, then you're, for example, removing cherry here, and you want to add another item which is called cherry, then the cherry item was already present in the runtime of our application when there's no refresh and there's no created and unmount. Then it says, hey, there was an element called cherry, and that's not a good idea because I do not know if this element is the same, it's unique, or it isn't unique. So be aware of that. The item key here always is unique. And then that's printed out. We have the variable item here, and we can access it here as well as in the same element. And we see the 3 dots, and now we see the 3 content elements of our list item array. And if you have objects instead of values here, for example, we can just build it up like an object. So we have fruits, for example, fruits. We call it fruits, and we give it a name. And this fruit is called apple. And then we have a banana fruit and a cherry fruit. So we have 3 fruits. Then you also can access the elements, as you can see here when we just changed it. So fruit. And you see that the objects are printed out here, but you can also access the values, the properties of the object. So for example, here, item name, or if you have unique IDs, for example, you can just put an .id, and you can just write it down here, ID1, then ID2, and ID3. IDs, if you are using a database application, should be unique as well. So this could be a valid key identifier for your application and for your list. So that's how you're using v4, how you're iterating over the objects, how you're using the list, and how you are displaying all the items here. In our online class, you see a lot more examples. You see how to loop over components and how you do all the other stylings, and you do loopings and loops and all the other things. If you like this video, then hit the thumbs up button, leave a comment below, or subscribe my channel, and we see us again in the next video.